Hey everyone, Sam Schaefer here with Sam Schaefer Numismatics, coming to you guys with a brand new video. And for this quick take, I'm going to talk about a Buffalo nickel with no date. Now, we get lots of questions every week, it seems like. Somebody asks if a Buffalo nickel without a date has any value. And in fact, some people are actually thinking that the coin may be some type of an error, or what is often referred to incorrectly as a misprint, is actually a very normal process that is a result of the coin being heavily circulated. So you have to think Buffalo nickels were made between 1913 and 1938. During this time in U.S. history, a nickel actually had a spending value. Today we get a nickel and change and it just quickly goes into our change jar and we never use it. But back then, you know, kids had nickels in their pocket. Nickels could be spent at soda fountains and 5 and dime stores and going to a baseball game or something like that. There were many things that a nickel could buy. So they got circulated. And you think about the 1930s with the Great Depression happening, people simply didn't have the means to save coins. They were just money. And people couldn't save money when they needed it to survive. So a lot of nickels got circulated very hard during the Great Depression, and then that continued up into the 1940s, 1950s. In fact, I would guess that the Buffalo nickels, although I haven't read this specifically, I'm going to bet that they probably started disappearing in circulation in the 60s sometime. I would imagine that they were still pretty fairly often coming up in circulation in the 40s and 50s. So they are neat coins, but unfortunately without a date, they don't really have any value, and it's not any kind of an error. So the reason that they don't have a date is it's just simply that the coin has been worn. So you can see on this coin that it's pretty flat. There's not a lot of features. If the date did exist, it would be down here in this flat area right below the neck. Let's look at a Buffalo nickel that has more detail. This is a lightly worn one. This would probably grade an extra fine, which is going to be a 40 to 45 on a scale of 1 to 70. In fact, with a little bit of conservation, getting the gunk off of this in a very safe way, which we'd never recommend doing without a professional consultation first, I would venture to say this coin could maybe even be considered almost uncirculated, because there's really no wear, just very, very light wear. So this is, as you can see, what one looks like in nicer grade. Now, if you want, you can look and see if it has a mint mark. So this one does have a mint mark. You can see the letter S, which is directly below the 5 cents there. It's very small. They are very small in Buffalo nickels, and a lot of times folks do need to use some type of a loop or a magnifying glass to be able to see that mint mark. So that's what a lightly circulated one looks like. And then just for your viewing pleasure, here is a gem mint condition coin that I actually have currently on consignment through a customer of mine. And this is a really, really beautiful example of a 1937 D. So this coin was made in Denver. And you can see a Buffalo nickel that has never been used, that's in perfect condition, is going to have what we call mint luster. So as I rotate the coin, you can see that it has a shimmering effect, and that kind of swirls around the coin. So Buffalo nickels don't exactly cartwheel quite the same as Morgan dollars or peace dollars or silver coins. Just the way the planchets were made, they do cartwheel in a little bit different motion, but you're still going to want to look for that moving light, the way it transfers off the surface. You can see both sides show that luster pretty well. And a couple things of note on Buffaloes. When you're looking for a quality example, say that maybe you're considering getting just a mint state one for your typeset. They're actually fairly affordable. Right now I have some MS67s in stock that I would sell for $55. So very, very 66s. Sorry, I don't know if I said 66 or 67. 66s are fairly affordable, and they're beautiful coins. In 67, they get a little bit too expensive for most collectors. But when you're looking for a quality example, always make sure to look for one that doesn't have any dark or dingy looking toning or streaks on it. Buffalo nickels are really best enjoyed without toning, unless the toning is pretty. Most of the time, though, buffalo nickels, if they tone, will be just drab colors, and they will often have a very hazy toning that is not appealing. So a coin like this that is really nice, it has a little bit of a bronze hue to it, but not much. And that's just simply from coming out of an original roll at one point, which is, I know, is where these came from, because I helped with this estate. So this is just a great example, and it's a very fun coin to own as a type piece. So again, this, you know, they can get really expensive, but some of the common dates are not too bad. So those are what... I just totally dropped my phone. That's what they look like in high grade, well circulated, and finally just about as circulated as it possibly gets. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, that's, you know, too bad about the circulated ones. Is there any way that you can find out what date it was? Well, it turns out there is. This is kind of an interesting thing about buffalo nickels, but the nickel can actually be etched on there. So you can buy this product. It's called Nicodate. Nicodate is sold wherever coin supplies are sold, so you can buy it, I think, from Whitman, you can buy it from Wizard Coin Supply, you can buy it off eBay. Nicodate is ferric acid, so it is a somewhat mild acid, but still is dangerous if you either ingest it or don't handle it properly. So I definitely recommend doing that. Read the safety instructions before you do any nicodating. But what you do is you take... just a drop out of this bottle, just a tiny drop, it doesn't need to be much, and then place it right on that spot where the date is. Let it sit there for a few seconds, and then go and rinse it off in the sink. Now that spot that you put the Nicodate on is going to turn, it's going to discolor. It's either going to turn a very drab gray or a dark gray, almost like war nickels look like. And what it's going to have done is actually eaten a little bit of the metal and raised that date. So you're going to be able to potentially see the date again. Nicodate should work. Only in rare circumstances is there not enough left of the coin to pull a date up. Now, isn't this damaging the coin? Yes, it is. Nicodate is the one exception of what we can honestly say is not that harmful, because a no-date buffalo has very little use. Collectors don't enjoy them because there's no spot in the book for them. You know, the whole point of coin collecting, or it really shouldn't be the whole point, but many people enjoy collecting one of each date and mint mark. It's by far the most popular way to collect coins. So if this doesn't fit into the popular way to collect coins, and it really only appeals to a niche interest, then you have difficulty with finding anyone to buy it. So we typically only offer 6 cents a piece, or a penny over face value, for no-date buffaloes, but we do get rich on them when we resell them for 10 cents a piece. Which actually can be very fun if you are someone who feels like searching through and maybe pulling up some dates and seeing if you can get lucky. I have seen the acid-dated buffaloes still bring a little bit of a price premium if you manage to get one of the keys. They still, you know, you can list them on eBay, and there are people out there who will pay a little bit for a filler that they can at least see the date on, even if it's been nicodated. So it's certainly an option. But I hope everybody enjoyed this video and has a little bit better understanding of the buffalo nickel. If you have buffalo nickels in your collection and are interested in having them evaluated and searched for key dates, or perhaps for some rare varieties, we would be more than happy to assist you with that. Again, I'm Sam Schaefer, Numismatics, located on the north side of Indianapolis, open 6 days a week for appointment. Give me a call to schedule yours today, and we look forward to serving you. I hope everyone enjoyed. We'll catch you on the next one.